Behind the streaming news desk right now live, and we are sharing stories about how this winter weather is impacting all of us. I think everyone has a story to tell, and I spoke with one woman who lives in Bellevue with her family who is a cancer patient, and she lost power Sunday, and it kind of put them in a panic as a family because the device that she uses to administer medication to her liver, well, that requires heat, and without having power, they were unable to keep that device warm. I want you to hear her story and how they were able to get through all of this. All right. Hey, everyone. I am talking with Helen Domestius. She has stage 4 colorectal cancer, and you have been impacted. You and your family just got power restored, but you've been impacted because you guys went days without power, and that also affected you having to go through all of this with treating your cancer.
It definitely first the first 24 hours of any snow ice storm, you're just kind of hunkered down, ready to snack away with all the food that you bought at the grocery store. But then the 24 hours led to waking up that morning and your house is 47 degrees, and I am dependent on certain resources for my health. So the semi panic starts to kick in, and you start texting your medical team, texting friends who has power, who doesn't. And most of my friends did not have any power. So I start texting my medical team, what do I do with the ifs? And they came back with answers for me, but I didn't want to have to go to the hospital and utilize those resources because, the nursing staff at Centennial specifically, they're understaffed and they're trying to get their medical team there as well. And I just didn't want to utilize that staffing resource unless it was a dire emergency.
Yeah. So what was your first, I guess, instinct when you said, okay, wait, we got to get this handled. We got to figure this out because this could go really bad.
Well, I went to my daughter who has like all the new trendy devices that are hopefully charged. She did have one device that was about 20% charged that has actually dispenses some heat to her. It's almost like a pouch, like a fanny pack that has a buckle. It was really interesting. I'm about to send a lot of my friends these. It's almost like a portable heating pad. I used that until it went, until the battery died. But then, of course, we didn't have a way of charging that. We started calling around to hotels. Everything was booked. As I was on the phone with even Hilton, as I'm on the phone with them, ready to book a room, it would get booked. They were sold out. It was literally, I've been telling friends, it's been like playing Tetris, and not in a fun way. But we did get a hotel downtown by the convention center, and that alone is a story in itself.
What happened?
It was pure chaos. I mean, it's the community all coming together. They're bringing their kids, Legos, dogs, cats. You're in an elevator with 20 people that have screaming kids, and you just start laughing at some point. And you're sharing your story. Where are you from? Where did you not have power? And it was a lot of the Bellevue, Westmead, Green Hills folks that we seem to be hunkering down with. But we only booked for one night. So we didn't even have a second night, which we needed a second night. But I was at least able to charge any devices and that heating pad just to get me through until the next day, and kind of took it day by day.
So you had to go home the very next day?
Had to come home, regroup, repack. A friend of mine who lives in Franklin, who is also battling colorectal cancer, said, why don't you just come over here? We both can just kind of talk our sorrows away and anxiety of trying to work with this situation under, our health diagnosis. So that's what we did. We went to Franklin, to their house, and shout out to Jim and Bethany because they did save our day. They had, warm house. We charged everything, heating pad, sort of got calm. And then our power came back on. It was yesterday morning. We came back to a balmy 60 degrees, and it was beautiful. So we're right now, fingers crossed, power stays on, but we know how hard everyone's been out there working as a community, and the linemen have been working hard as well. So we much appreciation to them as well.
And how essential, Helen, is this medication for it to work correctly to help you?
Very. If I do not get heat at least 3 times a day at 20-minute increments a day, it could clot. There is a catheter that's attached to this device that goes directly to my liver. And if it clots, we literally have the device breaks and we have to take it out. And it's almost near to impossible to re-implant that device. So it's very urgent.
My goodness. So, having gone through all of this, obviously this is something that no one was anticipating for it to be this bad. What are your takeaways? I mean, we're still kind of not out of the woods yet, obviously, as a community, because there's always the chance that power could go out again for certain areas. And then everybody's still obviously going through not having power. What were your takeaways for, I guess, possibly next time if anything were to ever happen?
I would probably have a list of hotels, even potentially booked, which I do have to say this about the hotels. They were very, very kind. At least Hilton was with us. They said if we needed to cancel, as if our power came back on, we could cancel without any fee. And they did give residents, a ice storm fee. So they were really wonderful. So I would probably prepare with that much earlier on. I would say devices obviously fully charged as much as possible. Go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's and get some sort of charging station, if not a generator.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add or tell me that I may have missed out on?
Just, you got to have some grace and patience. This isn't the first challenge, having this diagnosis for a year and a half, where you've had to pause and go, okay, what do we do? We need a plan B, C, and D. And that's for anything, even traveling. What do I do if, the what ifs? So you just always having a plan is very, very important, and it keeps the anxiety down a little bit. This was just a little bit, this was very much not expected. But what are you going to do? The anxiety doesn't help my health. So that's been really kind of tough. So it's taking me a couple of days to come down from that.
Yeah. Do you all have any cleanup around your home? Do you have trees
it's
down?
It's like a war zone.
Oh my gosh.
We are right off Newsom Station, and trees are still down, lines are still down. I'm actually quite surprised we still